The year started with a promise for improved relations. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi had paid a surprise visit last December to attend the wedding of Pakistani Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif's granddaughter. The dramatic visit was supposed to warm relations that had been frosty for months. But that effort was soon thwarted by an attack in January on an Indian airbase in Pathankot, 50 kilometers from the Pakistani border. Pakistan-based Kashmiri militants took responsibility, and from that point onwards, the relationship went steadily downhill. In July, a young firebrand Kashmiri separatist leader was gunned down by Indian forces. Burhan Wani's death sparked widespread protests for months. Indian forces responded with force, using pellet guns that caused serious injuries. Dozens, including security forces, died. Pakistan, a strong supporter of Kashmir's separatist struggle, intensified efforts to raise the issue of human rights violations on international forums. In response, the Modi administration started raising the issue of human rights violations by Pakistan's security forces in its restive Balochistan province. By doing so, they crossed a red line their predecessors had avoided. Tensions mounted. In late September, 4 gunmen attacked an Indian military base in Uri in Kashmir. 18 Indian soldiers died. India blamed the attack on Pakistan-based militant groups. Modi promised to work to isolate Pakistan internationally. The same week, Pakistan Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif blasted India in his speech to the United Nations General Assembly.
This indigenous uprising of the Kashmiris have been met as usual with brutal repression by India's occupation force of over 500,000 soldiers. Over 100 Kashmiris have been killed, hundreds, including children and infants, blinded by shotgun pellets, and over 6,000 unarmed civilians injured over the past 2 months.
India reacted sharply. Its Minister for External Affairs, Sushma Swaraj, called Pakistan a supporter and exporter of terrorism.
In our midst, there are nations that still speak the language of terrorism, that nurture it, peddle it, and export it. To shelter terrorists has become their calling card.
Soon after, India claimed it carried out surgical strikes against militants on the Pakistani side of Kashmir's border. Pakistan rejected the claim but warned that such an incursion would be considered an act of war. Continued skirmishes along the line of control, the de facto border in Kashmir, have killed dozens, mostly civilians. Pakistan's army conducted a military drill near the Indian border to flex its muscle. Meanwhile, India lobbied for countries to drop out of a regional summit to be held in Islamabad. Pakistan was forced to postpone the gathering. While the 2 nuclear-armed neighbors continue to trade jibes, many are hoping cooler heads prevail in the coming year. Ayesha, Tanzeem, VOA News, Islamabad.